interesting things are happening now in China. On the one hand, maybe it's too much propaganda, but you know all that deep-seek stuff and some new drugs, medicines, like something for, I think, women's breast cancer, which is much cheaper and more effective than the Western. And then, of course, electric cars, cheaper, better. So the paradox of China is that their type of authoritarian system, which nonetheless allows market forces to play, but in a controlled way, it's even more effective. What do we, some of us, I doubt, still admire in capitalism? This, it can be all manipulated, oligarchs, but from time to time you get, under big quotation marks, some creative capitalist local who does a wonder. In China, there is almost more space for that now. They are even better capitalists, So I think that the only solution I see for Europe is to try to test, and we are now entering a world of, it's my old joke if you heard it, Orwell, although I think his novel is wrong, 1984. But you know what's the world for Orwell? Oceania, Eurasia, and East Asia. That's where we are today. He was right. Oceania, United States dominance, Eurasia, Russia. Europe is a problem. Who will get it? And East Asia, China. Europe, I think, the only way to do is to reassert itself as some kind of united superpower and searching for a link with China, a strategic link. I have no illusions about China. But one good thing about China is that it's far away. Also, it's economically effective. It has its own horrible, dirty parts. Like I could tell you stories about what China is doing in Zambia and other African countries, brutally exploiting, destroying nature, and so on. But I think the main problem, is, can Europe do it? It would be nice too, but I am a pessimist. I don't know, where are you? I think Europe is already so disunited, with parts under Trump's influence, parts under Putin's influence. I think that Europe cannot even unite itself. But back to your point. So I think in this constellation, I don't think we can afford this slow democratic process of waiting for a good, more open party to emerge. We need, it's horrible to say, a master to awaken us. Unfortunately, Trump did this, as it were, in a wrong way. But again, look at Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Do you know, as you probably know, that United States got out of economic crisis, recession, basically only in the time of the World War II. And it worked triumphantly. I read some statistic. In order in 1945, if you discount everything produced for the army, which was a gigantic budget, and you take consumerist products, they were higher than ever. Consumerist, not army products. So I think that, now comes my very pessimist view. In today's time of ideology, depoliticization of the young, I almost care more for this. I don't know how it is here, but do you know that in China, crucial point, they have now a vast movement called Bailan, I think. It means literally, let it rot. Billions of the younger generation, the idea is the society is too corrupted, too complex. Get a modest job, ignore everything. Just try to enjoy at a small level everyday life. And it's interesting what the party's answer to this is. Not study Mao, but return to Chinese tradition, Confucianism, and so on. So what I'm saying that in this constellation, it's horrible what I will say. You know Lincoln, of course, we know, which was not he took it from another. Everybody took what is attributed to him from another. You can treat some people all the time, all people some the time, not all the people all the time. Maybe you can treat all the people all the time. You know, so there are rare traumatic moments when, in a good sense, not in a fascist sense, because you should never forget that Deutschland erwache, Germany awakened. This was the Nazi motto. No, but where people authentically awaken, but you need to be kicked up your ass. And crisis doesn't help. The old leftist ideal was, when a nation is in a crisis, it's our chance. Did you notice that in the last half a century or even earlier, no, crisis brought extreme right to power. Left, while took over precisely when there was relative prosperity. So I think that there is no way to guarantee it. But I think, you can crucify me for this, we need a leftist Trump. By Trump, I don't mean the obscene clown and so on.